Welcome to TARTLEcast with your hosts Alexander McCaig and Jason Rigby, where humanity steps into the future and source data defines the path.
Welcome back to another episode of TARTLEcast. You're here with your hosts Alexander McCaig and
Jason Rigby.
Now, Jason, you and I were at an event the other night. And
it was the soccer, yeah.
Okay, New Mexico United.
Yes.
Decent, a lot of fun, had a good time. Now, when we were conversing with people in the crowd, they were asking about TARTLE and signing up.
Right.
Now, it wasn't the idea that was kind of making them hesitant. We're like, I'm not sure I'm comfortable with that. It wasn't a matter of discomfort. What was the hesitant part was that they didn't seem to find any inherent value in the things that they were creating.
Yes, right.
So in that conversation, we had to kind of transition them and help them understand that absolutely every infinitesimal piece of data that you create, what you think, your behaviors, your emotions, those things that truly make you are extremely valuable, right?
I could see somebody saying that, and when in the crowd, you can almost see that. Several people mentioned that, I may not do a lot of online shopping. I'm not this person that makes $250,000 a year.
Sure.
I'm not a bomb photographer.
Right.
So at the end of the day, really, what is my data worth?
Yeah. And that's something that I think is really important to touch on, is that if you find yourself valuable,
right?
Okay.
which we all do.
We all find ourselves valuable. Other people will find and see that value.
Yeah, exactly.
And you having that value and putting it into that data, using the application, then allows you to get paid for those things that make you special, that make you important, right?
But I mean, when we talked to him, he kept saying it. He said it multiple times,
right?
Like over and over again. Like, I guess I could sign up for this, but really, what am I going to get? What is it worth?
Yeah.
And it's so funny how we're correlating data to our everyday lives.
But that's what it is.
And then what we value in who we are.
Right. And this is...
as a person.
And he put that entire story together in one pitch coming out of him. And he didn't even realize what he was pitching. Right. But now that when we look at it, we want to use the example he's created and show that he really does have that value.
Right, exactly.
That when he begins to use the application and review the things that he does create day in and day out, the habits that he does have, his medical data, whatever it might be, there's a lot of value to that.
Yeah, whether you're a college kid and you're 20 years old, you're producing a lot of content that's out there, that people would be interested in. Beyond
your psychological and emotional and social value, people want to pay you like a tangible value for that, right?
And so is that what people are thinking when they're thinking of data, is that it's a social value? Like it's like a hierarchy where they're feeling like they are?
No, absolutely.
So if they're making $18,000 a year and they're looking at somebody that's making $180,000, they're comparing that data, but they're not realizing that each company is specifically interested in that data for that reason.
For that exact reason, right? And so they begin to isolate and redline themselves right out of the gate.
Right.
And they don't need to be doing that.
Right.
Nobody using the system's in a box, right? And hopefully that allows them to remember that fact and to show that it doesn't matter if you're extremely rich or extremely poor, or if you're halfway across the globe or you're right here sitting in this room. Your value is equal right out of the gate.
That's awesome.
And how much you want to put into it, what you create, what you think, and what you truly feel about yourself, your willingness to put that effort in and understand it and use that accuracy about who you are and reflect, that value will increase, and you'll begin to see that over time, and you'll get paid for that.
Right.
So
But I mean, how does TARTLE make it equal?
Well, that's what we started. We started with the whole anonymity part.
Right.
So no one knows where you are.
Which is what episode? Everybody needs to.
Yeah, we'll tag it on here for whatever that episode is. I can't even keep count.
Right.
But because we have the anonymity, no one knows what your name is, right? So they're not going to judge you by your name. They can't say your data is worth less than any other person, right? Or yours is worth more than mine, or mine more than yours.
Mm-hmm.
And they also don't know where you're coming from, right? Because your IP is geographically hidden, right? So they can't be like the people in, say, Africa or Cambodia or all over Asia and Russia. Their information might be worth less than someone in the United States. So the ability to put people in those boxes and start to define them like that without truly knowing who they are, that won't happen.
Right.
So you can be assured that when you go on TARTLE, that value starts at square one for everybody.
For everyone.
For
equally.
everyone, right.
I love that.
So never think that what you do or what you create or the lack of what you create doesn't have value to it.
That's awesome.
All right?
Yeah, that makes sense. I love it.
Thank you for listening to TARTLEcast. with your hosts Alexander McCaig and Jason Rigby, where humanity steps into the future and source data defines the path. What's your data worth?